Yo, what's good everyone? It's Cyfal, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of making a video on a specific artist, I'm going to be showing you how to sample. If you didn't watch my one and only and Lil Bubblegum tutorial, I kind of briefly explained sampling and I asked if y'all wanted to see a more in-depth video. A few of you guys needed help with this, so I hope this video helps you out. I'm gonna try and keep this video as simple as possible. I'm probably not even gonna edit that much just so you guys can see the whole process. But I'm gonna be showing you guys where I find my samples because a lot of you guys asked me that. How to make the actual sample into a loop. Then how to make the loop on beat. And then this part is optional, but how to chop the sample. And then if I got time, I'm gonna lay some drums on it. If not, I uploaded the full beat yesterday, so you can see that if you want. And yeah, that's it. Let's get into it. Alright, so step one is finding a good sample. So a lot of people have a hard time with this, and I don't really think there's a specific way to do this easily. Personally, I'll just look up whatever I'm looking for. For example, I'll look up string sample or guitar samples. Then I'll just look in YouTube playlists and see if I can find anything. And then if I find a good sample, I'll also look at other songs by the same artist, because they could potentially have other good songs. But other than that, you kind of just need patience. Sometimes I could find a sample in a couple minutes, but sometimes I'll look for like 30 minutes and not find anything, so you just gotta be patient. So now that you've got a good sample, you need to find parts to loop. There's multiple ways to do this, but what I do is I open the plugin Edison. Once I'm in Edison, I'll just drag the sample into it. Once I got the sample in there, I'll find either a 4 or 8 bar loop that I want to use for the beat. It doesn't have to be 4 or 8 bars, but if it's like 6 bars, for example, it might not loop properly with the drums. So if you want to keep it simple, just use 4 or 8 bars. What I'll do is I'll just listen to the song until I find a part that I like. Then I'll find where the part starts and ends, then I'll just highlight that, like so. So it starts right here. Alright, so right there is where the 8 bar ends. And you don't have to only use one section of the sample, so I'm going to listen on, see if there's anything else I want to use. Yeah, I like these next 8 bars as well, so I'm going to use that as well. Now, something that might come in handy is, if you're listening to it, it might kind of like bring you with it. I'll show you what I mean. If you don't want it to do that, click this arrow on the bottom. Then you can be wherever you want while it's playing. Alright, so now this is the most important and hardest part of the sample. To make the sample on beat, first you need to set the tempo to whatever you want. I'm gonna go on the higher side, like 190, because I feel like that fits this vibe better. But it really depends on your sample and your preference. You can set it to whatever you want, really, because you're gonna manipulate the sample to fit whatever. Now, something you need to know how to use is this stretch tool right here. If you don't see it, you're probably selected to one of these 2 options. So you want to select to this one on the left, and then click stretch. Without stretch, if you try and move this, it will just cut it out. But with stretch, it will change how long the sample is. So since I got an 8 bar loop, I want to go right before the 9. So the sample is 8 bars, like I said. If your sample was a 4-bar loop, you go right before the 5. So it's 4 bars. And now if you listen to it, it should be more on beat. It might not fully be on beat, but if it is, you can stop here. If not, you have to keep going, and I'll show you what to do in that case. So this is a special case. It doesn't happen often, but it's pretty on beat. If you put trap drums over it, no one would really notice that it's off beat or whatever. So yeah. But if your sample is still off beat, I will show you what to do. First off, you may notice it's higher pitch. To get rid of that, you want to double click on the sample. Then over here where it says mode resample, you want to click on that and then click on stretch, so it's on stretch. Then over here where it says mode, you want to click on generic. So whenever you cut up the sample, there's not a bunch of random clicks in it. So now your sample's ready to be chopped up. If it's still not on beat, you need to make smaller sections on beat. So this is 8 bars, for example. I'd make 4 bars on beat. So I'll listen to it and find where the 4th bar starts. And that's right here, which is like that. Now, if you notice, if you try to stretch these 4 bars onto beat, it's going to affect the first as well. So in order to make it not get affected, you want to click on the top left of the new chop, of the new part, and then press make unique. Now you can edit this one freely without editing the first part. So I'm going to put it right onto the 5 because it's the second half, it's the 5th bar. And then I'm going to stop it right before the 9 because it's 8 bars long. It stops right before the 9. Now I'm going to go back to the first one and make sure that's perfect as well. So I'm going to stop that right before the 5. And then that's how you would do it. If it's still off beat, you want to go in the 2s every 2 bars. Every 1 bar if you have to, but I don't recommend that. So this is how it should sound now. Notice I forgot to change that part of the sample. The reason you do this before cutting it up is because you'd have to make every sample on stretch and generic. So do it beforehand and then you'll be fine. Now this last part is optional, but I'm going to be chopping the sample up. This is so you're not just using the sample as is and is more unique to whatever you want. So there's a lot of different ways to do this, but I do it right in the playlist. So you'll have to know how to use the slice tool, which is right here. So you can click on that, then cut up wherever you want. So I'll cut up right here, for example, just to do something simple. And then right here, it'll take out this and I'll duplicate this. You really just have to do a bunch of random things till it works, kind of based off experience really. So the best way to learn this is to just do it a bunch of times. So this is how this sounds. Something like that, you know. You just really have to cut stuff up, then duplicate stuff, you know, take stuff out. Because, you know, it doesn't have to be playing the whole time. It could be something like this. You know, something simple like that. And yeah, that's the full beat. If you guys want to watch the whole beat, there's a link in the description. I uploaded it yesterday. And I hope this video helped you. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Let me know what you want to see next, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.